Yo, what's good, people? It's your boy Hard8, the truth of YouTube, your favorite commentator's favorite commentator. Yeah. It's time for episode of Reality Check. I need to start doing this. I should make this a series. Reality Check, man, because these new 3D gamers and all that shit, man, these half-ass casual gamers, man, they be getting beside themselves. You know what I mean? And it takes me, a real nigga, to come put niggas back in a place. Now, we already had to deal with these niggas that think they psychics. You know what I'm saying? Now we're going to deal with these niggas that think they good at games. Good at today's games. And today's games are just not that hard, man. So we got some shit to talk about, man. I'm going to break it down why today's games are not hard at all. But some people feel like that, you know, they gain some type of credibility because they beat a so-called hard game, quote, I'm using the quote fingers, a hard game, you know, in 2019, man, and shit like that. Or this generation of or games like Dark Souls or Hotline Miami. These games are not fucking hard. And I'm going to explain to you why. You dig? But what's happening, people? Welcome, man. It's you know, real quick hangout. I went to sleep a lot earlier than I was supposed to, and I'm just not tired no more. I was laying in bed for like 4 hours, and I couldn't go to sleep. So, fuck it. I was like, you know what? Let me just get up and do a little Google Hangout real quick and shit. But I'm not off today. I still gotta go to work, but I can't sleep. So it is what it is. I got a crazy sleep pattern anyway. It's all over the place. But when I got home last night, I was like, or this morning, whatever you want to call it, I was like, man, listen, I'm tired as fuck. I usually stay up till a certain time. Like I got a schedule, but I ain't been sticking to it. I just been going to sleep whenever the fuck I get tired, man. So yeah. Let's talk about some things, man. We gotta talk about some things. But what's happening, man? I hope y'all checked out AGS podcast yesterday. We had a very good podcast, very entertaining. You know, we had Gold Chain Gamer on there, came through. Very entertaining, man. If you're tired of all of the same ass video game podcasts, man, definitely check us out. We do got some video games in there. We do talk about games, but we talk about real life shit too and shit that's going on in the world, current events and shit like that. So if you want a piece of that, definitely go check it out, man. It's pretty fucking entertaining. You dig? But other than that, how y'all doing, man? Shout outs to the chat. Shout outs to all of the motherfucking you know, the mods and shit like that. Yeah. Hey, Spider-Man, what are you doing? Bounce. You shouldn't be here. You got things to do. But yeah, we're gonna get that Doom trailer for that movie. That movie is garbage. But what's going on, man? What's up, Certain George? What's up, player? What's happening? Welcome, man. What's up? Welcome, people. Shout out to Gorilla Madness. What's up, player? What's good? Shout out to all the chat. I appreciate y'all for being here. Mr. T-Tech, what up, player? This nigga still ducking the podcast, man. What's going on, player? You know what time it is. It's Sunday at 4 p.m. EST. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself available. I mean, if you go to church and all that, I understand, man. You know what I'm saying? You come home, you got to get out your slacks, your motherfucking loafers. I get it, player, but make yourself available at 4 p.m. EST. You did. But, yeah, man, we here, man. We here. All right, man. He said he got me, man. We got to show up, man. You playing these games. You dig? Show up, player. All right, because, yeah, I don't think we're going to make this too long, man. So we're going to just get right into it, chitty. I'm sniffing this shit. Dang, you thought I was hitting coke before this motherfucking hangout. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn, what's going on? Maybe got to trim my nose hairs or some shit, man. Got to cut them down a little bit. I know they serve a purpose, but you got to cut them down a little bit. All right. So we got to talk about today's games, man. They're really not hard at all. even on the hardest difficulty for some games. Some games, the hardest difficulty is truly hard. You know what I mean? Games like Dead Space 2, that comes to mind. I believe 3 also, but Dead Space 2 comes to mind. Games like Outlast comes to mind. Those games on the hardest difficulty are truly fucking hard. But games like Dark Souls, no. We're going to talk about this. So, y'all know last Thursday I did the retro Thursday. I was playing Streets of Rage from the Sega Genesis. And it was a Sega Genesis exclusive. Streets of Rage was a beat 'em up. It was it was created to go head to head with Final Fight. I'm not even sure who made Streets of Rage. I think it was Sega. I'm not sure. But of course, they seen the popularity of Capcom and Final Fight and beat 'em ups in general at the time. Joints like Alien vs. Predator. Alien vs. Predator beat 'em up was fire, dog. That was my shit. But anyway, when I was playing the game, it made me remember that back when I was coming up, you had consequences to dying. Like when you play in the game and you die, there are consequences, right? You only got a certain amount of deaths, or you got to start from the fucking beginning. Today's games are not like that. There's no consequences for dying in a lot of these games, especially Dark Souls, because this is the game that people use to measure their fucking gaming skill or whatever. And to me, I'm more impressed with somebody that's skillful at multiplayer than fucking single player. That's just in my opinion. I looked at the Shakira new trailer today, the overview trailer, and it actually does look pretty decent. But a lot of people want to play that game because they think it's going to validate their skill or some shit. Like, oh, it's supposed to be harder than Dark Souls and this, that, and the third. Oh, I can't wait to play it. And then when they beat it, they're going to run around Twitter and all that shit bragging that they beat this game as if it's like a hard game. Unless you have consequences to your death, it ain't hard. If it's anything like Dark Souls where you can die 1,000,000 times to the same boss and just run directly back to that same boss until you beat it, that's not hard. These games today, like Dark Souls, you have no consequences. If you have any ounce of fucking skill, right? If you know how to adapt, you know how to change up your strategy, you recognize to try something different when something doesn't work. And if you have any of these types of tools in your gaming arsenal, you are going to beat that boss eventually. And if you garbage like a Dr. Trey or a Tid Smooth who don't comprehend this type of shit, then you might struggle forever. But if you have any type of decent skill, you are going to eventually beat that boss. But imagine if Dark Souls had consequences to dying. Imagine if you only had 3 continues and 3 lives per continue. Imagine if you got to the 11th boss in Dark Souls and you had 1 man left, and if you die, you start from the beginning. How many people would really be beating Dark Souls? That's what you call difficult. Not being able to start at the same boss 500 times or more, an infinite amount of number until you beat it. That's not hard. You know what I mean? It might be tedious. You might get frustrated and shit like that. But as long as you don't quit and you got any type of skill, you're going to beat that boss eventually because you can start right where you died. Well, in Dark Souls, you start at the bonfire and you just run back to the boss. By the time you get to it, you already know which way to go. You know, unlock some shortcuts and all that. You just run straight back to the same fucking boss. How is that hard? Eventually, they're going to beat that boss. You got any type of skill. There's no consequence to dying. You can even see at times people get to these bosses, they might get hit a certain amount of times. They'll be like, oh, man, fuck it. I'm going to just let him kill me. You wouldn't be like that back in the day because that life was way more important than just throwing it away. You understand what I'm saying? If you had 3 continues and 3 lives per continue, you wouldn't just be letting the motherfucker just kill you. You know what I mean? Because you know, like this shit, I got consequences to this death. Games like Hotline Miami 2, or Hotline Miami, or Dark Souls that people say are hard, these games are not hard. You can start at the same level over and over and over again until you beat it. Even Uncharted 4 crushing. And I done got caught up in this shit bragging about some of these games but now that I'm thinking about these games ain't really hard, especially just refreshing my memory when I was playing that Streets of Rage. These games ain't really hard. Yeah, there's no consequences. Uncharted 4, Chapter 20. You can start at that same spot over and over and over again until you beat it. Now imagine if you had a certain amount of lives and a certain amount of continues, and once they was all depleted, you got to go all the way back to Chapter 1. How many people will be beating these games if you had to go all the way back to Chapter 1 on crushing? Nigga, like, now there will be people that would be beating these games, but those motherfuckers will be elite fucking status. You understand what I'm saying? But how many of these dudes that be running around here bragging about beating Dark Souls and all that shit would really be beating these games if the difficulty was the same that it was back in the day? You know what I mean? And you got some games today that are truly difficult. Dark Souls 2 stands out for me. The hardest difficulty, no checkpoints, and you can only save 3 times in the entire game. How come we have not heard anybody bragging about that? Why is that not a big deal? Why is that not a big deal in the community? Niggas make a big deal out of beating Dark Souls. Motherfuckers is hype as shit right now for Sekiro. But why hasn't nobody been talking about beating Dead Space 2 on the hardest difficulty? You know why? Because they can't. That's why. Why can't they? Because they can't stop. They can't start at the same point over and over and over again. Nah, you only can save 3 times, and I believe if you die, you got to start at the beginning. Outlast on the hardest difficulty. You die 1 time, you got to go back to the beginning. Why ain't nobody bragging about beating Outlast on the hardest difficulty in this community? Because they can't. They need to be able to start at that same spot over and over and over again until they eventually get past it. But with games like Dead Space 2 on the hardest difficulty and Outlast, you don't get that luxury. You got to start at the beginning if you fucking die. You see what I'm saying? So you don't hear nobody bragging about them games. You know what I mean? But they'll run around talking about Dark Souls or this new Sekiro coming up, because you already know what it's going to be. They're going to beat Sekiro, then be on Twitter. Oh, beat Sekiro. I don't see nobody else posting their trophies. Shit looking spooky out here. Nigga, like, the only thing you showed is that you got consistency. That's the only thing you possess. Like, you are willing to try over and over again until you get by it. Congratulations. But imagine if you had 3 lives and 3 continues, and you had to start at the beginning if they was all depleted. Games like fucking Battletoads that had no continues. Once all those men was gone, game over. Games like Double Dragon 3, where you die 1 time, game over. Start at the fucking beginning. I believe you can get a high enough score to unlock an extra man. But if you didn't do that, you die 1 time, the beginning. And that game was hard as fuck. And it only had 5 levels. 5 fucking levels. Game was hard as shit, though. And it's countless of other games. But you don't hear nobody bragging. I don't see nobody jumping on. I just beat Dead Space 2 on the hardest difficulty. I just beat Outlast on the hardest difficulty. Nope, they're not talking about that because they can't do it. They need to be able to start at that same spot over and over again, like you can with Dark Souls and fucking and Hotline Miami and games like that. Bloodborne, even that. I don't even brag about Bloodborne no more. First of all, because the shit, like the platinum ain't even special anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like uncommon, common now, and it ain't like everybody got that fucking platinum. That ain't impressive. You dig? But I don't even care to brag about having the platinum for Bloodborne no more because, you know, I just got a different mindset. Like, these games ain't fucking hard. Anybody can beat these games if you stay persistent or consistent and just keep at it. Just keep at it. You're going to do it, man. You know what I mean? You made this mistake last time, change it. You can go right back to the boss. Why do it take you a couple seconds to run directly back to the boss? You know what I'm saying? You die, run directly back to the boss. You die, run directly back to the boss. Die. Run directly back to the boss. You will eventually beat it if you got any type of fucking skills. But if death had consequences, how many people would really beat it? See what I'm saying? How many? That's what you got to ask yourself. If you only had 3 lives and 3 continues, how many people would beat it? Remember we had the chapter 20 challenge, right? Remember we had that chapter 20 challenge, and y'all already know who was victorious? Me. BG died like what? 40 something times before he passed that chapter. Jack Move died over 75 times before he passed that chapter, and I died 12 times, right? You see, you get my point? Even after 40 something tries, even after 70 something tries, you are still able to start at that same spot until you beat it. If the difficulty was on it, the level that it was back in the day, you would have had 3 men, 3 continues to beat chapter 20. And you would have had to get up to chapter 20 with all of that. You probably could get up to chapter 20 with 1 continue and 1 man. So pretty much you got 4 men all together. So you got 4 chances to beat chapter 20. If you don't beat it in the 4 chances, guess what? You go back to chapter 1. How many people would have beat Uncharted on Crushing? I don't even know if I would have. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if I would have. Like, I'm decent at games, but I admit there are people that are way better than me at games than I am. There are people out here that will beat fucking Dark Souls without even getting hit. You know what I mean? Perfect runs and all that shit. Like, you have some very talented fucking gamers out here. But how many people would be bragging if they had a limit on how many times they can fucking die? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? It's not impressive. I'm more impressed with people that's good at multiplayer games, to me. Going up against other people, going up against other brains and shit like that, I'm more impressed with that type of skill rather than you beating a single player game that's supposed to be quote unquote hard, but you can start at the same spot over and over again. And then we know a lot of these dudes, even when it came to multiplayer, they ducked the hardcore multiplayer, right? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, niggas duck Rainbow Six. Like, Rainbow Six is a good game. Niggas duck that. Nah, I'm good. Niggas duck that. But, you know, they'll play Uncharted casual shit. You know what I'm saying? That's easy as fuck. I think my KD on Uncharted is like a fucking damn near a 4. You know what I mean? That shit like damn near a motherfucking 4, dog. Shout outs to Undenied Real, man. He said bragging about beating video games that are not competitive like fighting games or shooting games is lame as fuck. I agree. And I was a victim of shit like this. I bragged about beating Uncharted on Crushing. I bragged about beating Bloodborne and getting the platinum and all of that shit. But when you really think about it, what the fuck am I bragging about? You know what I'm saying? I'm not even cut from this cloth of gaming. But even I've been watered the fuck down over the years of this easy shit. You feel what I'm saying? Even if you play the games, a lot of these games, the hardest difficulty don't really change up nothing. All it does is make you be able to take less hits and the enemies can take more hits. You know what I mean? A lot of these games, the hardest difficulty does not make death have consequences. You know what I mean? Because like I say, even like with Uncharted, you can play on Crushing, but you can still start at the same spot you died 1,000,000 times. On Crushing or not. Whether it's Crushing or easy, you can still start where you left off as many times as needed until you pass that chapter. You understand what I'm saying? The games I can think of on top of my head that really changes that really make death a consequence is Dead Space 2 and Outlast. Those games that I can think off the top of my head, if you play on the hardest difficulty, you have consequences if you die. You're not going to be sitting there like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to kill myself and try again. Nah. See, if death had consequences, if death was more precious, you wouldn't be doing shit like that. And we see it all the time. They get to a boss, they might get hit 2 times. Oh, fuck, I'm going to let the boss kill me. Because you know it ain't no consequence. So it ain't no consequence. The hardest part is going to be me running back to the spot where the boss is at. That's going to take a couple of seconds because I done unlock shortcuts. You see what I'm saying? So that's it, man. That's just how I feel about these difficulties. I know people are looking to measure their dicks upcoming with Sekiro. And that overview trailer did look pretty good. I'm not even going to hold you. It did look like a pretty decent game. But most people just want to play it because they got something to prove. But unless Sekiro make you start at the beginning, if you die a certain amount of times, I'm not impressed. I'm just not impressed. You dig? I'm just really not. I'm not impressed with any game where you can start at the same spot you died a million times until you pass it. Because like I told you, if you possess any type of skills, you will eventually know how to adapt and apply. Period. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got the bosses. Sometimes you get the boss and you feel like, man, I ain't never going to beat this fucking boss. I remember I felt like that when I got to chapter 20 for the first time. Man, I'm probably never going to beat this chapter. You know, I doubt myself a lot. Anyway, that's just something I do. Maybe y'all don't or whatever. I don't know what you might call that. But I doubt myself a lot. Like I always doubt myself. Like in everything. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that shit, but I do. Like even if I was going to go play like Kid Smooth in live right now, I would doubt myself like, dang, he probably going to beat me and shit. Or I'm probably not going to beat him. I would doubt myself, and I don't know why I do that shit. Even though I believe that it ain't going to happen, but I still doubt myself. I don't fucking know. Maybe that's part of being a pessimistic person that I am. I don't fucking know. But I doubt myself a lot. Like, man, I ain't never going to beat this chapter. But then it's like, I mastered the fucking chapter. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's a fucking defense mechanism or something. Maybe it's psyching yourself up or some shit. I don't know why I do that shit, but I tend to doubt myself a lot. But I don't know. What y'all think, man? And, you know, am I making sense in this whole difficulty thing, or you just don't get it because you're a fucking bum and you want all the credit you can get? I don't really think a game is hard if you can start at the same spot over and over and over until you beat it. I just don't believe that. That's not hard. That's not hard, dog. That may be tedious, but it ain't hard. Shout out to Tony Wood, 25. He said, I'm 36 and vividly remember Contra without the 30-man code was hard to beat. Not hard by today's standard, but hard as hell back then. Yeah, Contra was pretty difficult. Because Contra, you had 3 men and no continues, right? Yeah. So Contra, you had 3 men, no continues, and you died from getting hit 1 time. So back in the day, it was pretty difficult to beat that game with only 3 men. Now you get a certain amount of score, you can unlock another man or whatever like that. But it was a difficult game, and a lot of people cannot beat that game without the 30-man code. You see what I'm saying? Because you can look at it, and, you know, some people might beat the game. They still got 22 lives left or whatever. But it would have been game over had it not been for the 30-man code. So, again, you couldn't, even with Contra, you on your last man and you at the fucking heart. If that heart killed you, guess what? You got to go all the way back to stage 1. You know what I mean? You don't pick up right where that heart killed you. You don't start at the beginning of stage 8 and get back to the heart. I'm talking about the Nintendo version. You know what I mean? I know the arcade version don't have 8 stages, but you don't start back at the beginning of the stage or right where you left off or you continue. Nah. You die at that heart with your last man. You go back to stage 1. You understand? A lot of people would be dropping games like, you know how much, do you imagine how much crying it would be in this fucking gaming industry if the difficulty was like it was back in the day? Can you imagine if you did only have 3 men and 3 continues in Dark Souls, how many people would be crying? People were crying about Mr. X on Resident Evil 2 Remake. Somebody that you can outrun pretty fucking easily. Unless he surprised you around a corner or trap you somewhere, you can outrun Mr. X very fucking easy. He can become annoying like a fucking fly buzzing around your ear, but he was nothing difficult to handle. But people were crying about Mr. X. Can you imagine if games was as hard as they was back when it was on the NES and shit like that, Lord, pussies would be bleeding. It would be an outcry. It would be an outcry if games had that level of difficulty nowadays. I remember people were crying about God of War Ascension, that fucking level with the elevator level. Yeah, I mean, Adam Sessler was crying. People cried so much, they had to fucking put in a patch to fucking lower the difficulty. And I did beat it before the patch. They even patched Bloodborne. Like, people were crying over, what was that shit? What was it, the Trials of Archimedes or whatever that shit was called on God of War Ascension? I remember Adam Sessler, he was crying. He couldn't even beat it. He had to give it to a colleague or some shit like that. Talking about he was on it for 12 hours. I'm like, what? And all you had to do was just use all of your tools that were at hand, and you could beat that fucking level easy. Like, that level wasn't even hard. After like 2 or 3 deaths, you already figured it out. Like, all right, cool, I got this. Adam Sessler was crying. And that shit wasn't even that hard, dog. Like, it wasn't hard at all. So, first of all, you just start where you die. You know what I'm saying? At the bottom, but still, you start where you die. And all you had to do was just use all your tools at your disposal by that time. It wasn't like that shit was funny. Like, that shit crazy. I just don't get it. I just don't. And like, the games could not be difficult like they was back then, man. It just wouldn't work. It would be a fucking industry meltdown. And that Adam Sessler shit, that shit wasn't even that hard, dog. So when I'm looking at that, and I know how hard games could really be, like, come on, man. Battletoads? My God. Like, and the funny thing is, yo, like, man, we used to sit up all fucking night trying to beat Battletoads, dog. Like, we, like, really, like, niggas was really working hard, dog. And it was fun. Like, I don't even remember getting frustrated at this time. I've been getting frustrated with games now, but back then, I don't know, maybe because I was a kid, I don't fucking know, but I don't even remember us even getting frustrated. Like, we were having a blast. Even though it took us forever to beat stage 3, we was having a blast. And I mean, it took us forever to beat stage 3. I'm talking about, like, months. I'm talking about every weekend we working on Battletoads. Yo, stage 3 was hard as fuck. I want to play that shit now to see just how hard it is. But at that time, stage 3 was hard as fuck on Battletoads, dog. And we had a blast trying to beat that shit. And we would try over and over again, dog. Like, man, if a game was that hard nowadays, like, especially if it was like a fucking, a mainstream game, woo, people would be crying. Like, even Cuphead isn't that hard. Like, I can look on my friend list on Xbox. A lot of people drop Cuphead. They put that thing right on down. And that shit wasn't even that hard. And again, you can just start at the boss, just fight the boss over and over again until you figure it the fuck out. That's not hard, people. That's not difficult. You know what I mean? You may die a few times. You may die a lot of times. But eventually you're going to beat the boss if you stay at it. That's not hard. It would be a fucking industry meltdown. Adam Sessler was crying, dog, over that one stage. And I'm like, I mean, he was crying so much, he had me shook. I'm thinking, oh, man, I think I'm almost there. Oh, this shit gonna be crazy. I got to that shit and I was like, is this dude fucking serious? Like, I was dreading getting to that part. I was dreading getting to that part, dog. Like, shit is crazy. That shit was crazy, man. Shout outs to Tony Wood 25. He said, yo, Hard 8, I'm stepping into the PC arena and require your Gears Halo training. Make that a Patreon tier. I use controller. No, I'm going to get body. I ain't fucking with PC, dog. Me and PC ain't getting along. You know, I got a love-hate thing with PC, dog. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I love it. Most of the time I hate it. So I ain't fucking with PC. By the time you get on PC, I ain't gonna be on it. Just gonna be real with you. Just gonna be real with you. Just gonna be real with you. Shout outs to the Great Exposure in the chat. The Great Exposure. Do we have a problem? Like, I don't understand you sometimes, dog. Do we have a problem? Like, I don't understand how people be having a problem with the truth. Like, what do I be doing that make motherfuckers have a problem? I keep it 100 at all times, whether I look good or whether I look bad. How can you not respect that? How can you not respect that? And I ain't no snake. I'm up front with all of mine. You know where I stand. How can a nigga not respect that? What is going on, man? Reevaluate yourself. What is going on? Battletoads is still difficult to this day. I have not been reading the chat. I'm sorry, people. If anybody got some Devil May Cry is boring, really? I beat that, but you thought it was boring? It ain't boring. Cuphead is slightly harder than Contra. I can't give you that, man, because Contra, you got 3 men and that's it. Once them 3 men is over, it's over. You got to start over. Cuphead, you can start over and over. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think any game where death is a consequence, that death is not a consequence on Cuphead. You can start at the same spot you die over and over. There's no consequences. You know what I mean? And in today's games, just like Cuphead, you can restart. Oh, I'm gonna restart. You can, like, come on. These games are not hard. You can restart. Oh, fuck, I got hit. I'm restarting. No, I'm not. It's no consequences, dog. There are no consequences in today's game. They are not hard. They might be tedious because you got to play the same boss over and over until you beat it. You know what I mean? But these games are not hard, dog. They're not fucking hard. I can't give Cuphead is harder than Contra. Because Contra, you got consequences if you die. If you don't use that 30-man code, them 3 men are important as fuck. You know what I'm saying? They are very, very important. So I can't give it to Cuphead. Nah. I can't give Contra's harder. I can't give it to Cuphead. Nah. Any game that does not have consequences for death, I cannot give it a hard tag. Nah. This might be an unpopular opinion, but I like playing with Nero more than I like playing with Dante. Nero was actually very, very fun to play with. V, I didn't have no problem with V. V was cool, but I like Nero the best. That was my favorite person to play with. Dante was cool too with the bike and all that shit. But yeah, Nero was my favorite to play with on Devil May Cry 5. He was an absolute blast to play with. Yeah, I can't listen. Any game that doesn't have consequences for dying, that's not hard. That's my belief. It's not a hard game. It's not a hard game. Games that are hard is games that punish you for dying, like really punish you. I'm playing Streets of Rage, which I don't remember it being as tough as it was the other day. Some people said that now I'm dealing with, like, you know, it's an emulator. I'm dealing with probably like more input lag. And, you know, back when I was playing it on CRT TV and shit like that, there was no input lag. Because I did feel like the controls were stiff as fuck. But then again, the Xbox controller is not the best controller. That should be crackling and all that shit. That should be crackling and shit like you got old bones. But I don't remember Streets of Rage. Either I'm not as good as I once was, and I'm not. I'm not a good game. I'm not as good as a gamer as I once was. I admit that. But Streets of Rage seemed way harder than I remember, because I remember I used to run through that game. Even on Streets of Rage 1, there's a time where I think it's level 7 or something like that. Mr. X is going to ask you a question, and if you agree with it, I think he's going to ask you to join him or something like that. I forget what it is, but if you select yes, it sends you back a bunch of stages. You know what I mean? Like it sends you back like 2 or 3 stages. I remember I used to accept that just because I didn't want the game to end. And used to run through that game. I was fucking struggling the other day. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is going on? I don't remember this game being that motherfucking difficult. But then again, I ain't been playing those types of games in years. You know what I mean? So I've been watered down overall just by default of what I'm dealing with today. And I'm definitely not as good as a gamer as I once was. Man, I really do wish YouTube was like around when I was younger. Because I really want to show y'all like my skill back when I was in my teens, dog. And this is when I was playing a whole lot of games. Like spending hours upon hours in games. Like I was something crazy. It might be still a little resemblance of it, but I am not even half of what I used to be, especially in fighting games. I used to be a master at fighting games, dog. And another thing I used to do with fighting games is I used to learn how to play with every character in the game. I used to take pride in that too. I used to take a lot of pride in being because some people, they can play with 1 or 2 characters, they got all that. I used to always make sure I could play with every character in the game. I can go random, don't matter who I land on. I was a beast. Like I don't know what happened to my fighting game chops, man. I don't know what happened. I don't even really like playing fighting games like that no more. I am looking forward to Mortal Kombat 11, but I don't know what happened to my fighting game skills, man. I'm telling you, this ain't no cap. This is no cap. My fighting game skills used to be on another level. Right now, they are garbage. Like, that shit is unfamiliar to me. I'm like, what is going on, man? I used to be crazy. Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, the original Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha, like all of those games, Tekken 1, Tekken 2, Tekken 3. I don't know what happened. Marvel Superheroes, X-Men Children of Atom, fucking Street Fighter versus X-Men, Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter, like all of them games. I used to be a beast. Now, garbage. Straight garbage. I don't know what happened, dog. I don't know what happened to my fighting game skills, man. They are fucking non-existent. Straight up. I don't know what happened. It's embarrassing to me. I used to be a beast, man. I used to be a fucking beast. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Yo, this nigga said the adventures of Bio Billy. What y'all niggas know about Bio Billy? Yo, Bio fucking Billy. Damn. Damn, Bio Billy was a hard game. That game, I think that game sucked, didn't it? Nah, it was all right. Bio Billy was all right. I have fond memories of Bio Billy. It's been a long time since I played Bio Billy, man. God damn. Nigga took me back. Batman on the NES was hard as fuck. Definitely. The Batman on the NES was hard, dog. That shit was hard. You know what else was hard too? Captain Skyhawk. Oh my God, was that game hard as fuck. Who played Captain Skyhawk on the fucking NES? Man, that game was hard. You get a checkpoint and unlimited saves every 30 seconds in new games. That's what I'm saying, man. These new games ain't fucking hard, dog. They not. Like, when you really look at like what makes a game hard, these new games ain't that. Like, they not. Too many checkpoints, too many save points, starting where you died, all that shit. These games ain't fucking hard, dog. Not at all. Not at all. Gex was harder than Cuphead. I don't remember how Gex was hard. I remember playing Gex a little bit on the 3DO. I used to go to this game store and play that shit. None of my friends had a 3DO. That shit was like $700. But I used to go to this game store and they had like Gex on display, and I used to sit there and play that shit. But I don't remember it being like super hard and shit. Then again, I didn't never play it that long because I'm in a store. You know how it go. So I don't even know. Strider on the NES was hard. Strider was definitely hard. There's a lot of games it was hard. POW, Presidents of War. Wasn't that Prisoners of War? POW, Prisoners of War. That game was funny. The arcade version was way better than the NES, of course. But that joint was hard. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 on the NES was hard. Yeah. Yeah, fucking Bio Billy. That's some back in the day shit right there. Game wasn't very good without nostalgia glasses. Yeah, that game was fucking. Y'all don't understand, people. If you wasn't around during the NES days, man, consider yourself lucky. If you one that don't like difficult games, because man, games was hard for no goddamn reason. Like, God, man, like Double Dragon 3 didn't need to be that fucking hard. I understand it only had 5 stages, but that shit didn't need to be that goddamn hard, man. Double Dragon 2 wasn't too fucking shabby either. But it was a way that you can cheese on that. Like on Double Dragon 2, you can start it with 2 players. And every time you kill your co-op player, you can take his men. So that's what you used to do to get over on that shit. And that game was pretty fucking difficult too. But 3, god damn. That shit was crazy. Ninja Gaiden was hard as fuck. Yeah, that game was hard. I don't even think I ever beat that game, man. My brother was a fucking master. That nigga used to beat every fucking thing, dog. He was the first person I ever seen beat Mike Tyson on Mike Tyson Punch-Out. And he used to make that shit look so easy, dog. I used to be like, yo, what the fuck? Like, Mike Tyson couldn't even hit this nigga, man. I used to be like, yo, what is going on? This shit is crazy. The first Metal Gear, I hated the first Metal Gear. That game was so garbage. The first Metal Gear was one of them games where the cover looked so fucking good, but the game was trash, in my opinion. I don't know. I might get a lot of hate for the first. The first Metal Gear on NES had that banging ass cover. That game was trash. I remember we was complaining because you ain't even had like a gun, like when it first started off. That shit was crazy. Punch-Out, wild, spooky. It's Mike Tyson Punch-Out, sir. We don't know nothing. We don't associate with regular Punch-Out. Where they removed Mike Tyson and added Mr. Dream. Nah, what is that? We know nothing about that. We know nothing about that. Guardian Legend. Oh, what y'all know about Guardian Legend? Yo, Guardian Legend was my shit. I remember this girl let me hold Guardian Legend. I remember when that game was new. I remember the commercial and everything, but I remember this girl let me hold Guardian Legend. She had that joint, and she let me hold that shit. Yo, damn, this nigga taking me back right here. Guardian Legend was the shit, too. Yo, Guardian Legend was fire. I remember this girl. She let me hold it, so I ain't had to trade or nothing. She let me hold it straight up. Yeah, Silver Surfer was hard on the NES. She let me hold it straight up too. Like I don't think I had no games to trade with anything. She let me hold that joint. Guardian Legend. That shit was banging. Love Guardian Legend, man. Up, up, down, down. Rest in peace, Contra. They got to bring Contra back, dog. Mega Man was pretty tough. Mega Man was pretty tough. The original Super Mario Brothers was tough for a few people. You know what I mean? Especially if you ain't used the warp pipes. People were struggling on Super Mario 2. I mean, 2 and 1 was pretty difficult. 3 could be difficult at times. Cosmic Zone. Cosmic Zone is pretty difficult. Yeah, that joint pretty difficult. No, I never beat Renegade. Oh man, Renegade. Renegade. That reminded me of River City Ransom too. Renegade was crazy. Bad Boys, that was the shit. Bad Boys was fire. Bad Boys was fire. Today's games definitely ain't Ninja Gaiden. No, man, not at all. Not at all. I just think today's games are not hard at all. And you really shouldn't be bragging about beating them. You really don't get no points of beating the Dark Souls when you can start at the same boss over and over again, dog. I'm more impressed if you beat a game where death got consequences. You beat Dead Space 2 on the hardest difficulty or Dead Space 3. You beat Outlast on the hardest difficulty. I'm impressed with that. Especially like Outlast, because you die one time, you got to start over. I'm impressed with that. That's pretty fucking impressive. But a Dark Souls, Hotline Miami, Cuphead, nah, fam. Nah, I ain't really impressed with that. I'm just not. I'm more impressed with multiplayer. You'll beast that multiplayer, then you saying something. You'll beast against other brains, then you saying something. What about Halo on Legendary? Halo on Legendary. Halo on Legendary is pretty difficult. That definitely is. But you can start at the same spot over and over, though, right? If I remember correctly, you can start at the same spot on Halo. You can start like right at the beginning of the chapter. You ain't got to go all the way to the beginning if you die after a certain amount of times. Doom got that permadeath. Ghosts and Goblins. That was a hard game. I beat Super Ghosts and Goblins. Or was it Super Goons and Ghosts? Which one was on the Super Nintendo? Was it Super Ghosts and Goblins or some shit? I beat that shit, though. Yeah, I was pretty proud of that. I beat that way back. That shit had to be like 92. Matter of fact, I remember the day I beat it. It was the 4th of July. It was the 4th of July when I beat Super Goons and Ghosts. I think it was Super Goons and Ghosts or something like that. It was one of them. Super Goons and Ghosts. All right, yeah, on the Super Nintendo. Super Goons and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo. I beat that on the 4th of July. It had to be like 92, 93, whatever year it came out that July. Or if it came out after July in that year, it was the next year in July. I beat that game, Super Goons and Ghosts. I was a beast. That game was hard too. That shit was crazy. You really gonna tell me Halo ain't hard on Legendary because of checkpoints? Yo, if you can listen, if you can keep starting at the same spot, would you be able to beat Halo on Legendary if you died a certain amount of times and you had to go all the way back to the beginning? You know what I mean? Checkpoints. Come on, man. Checkpoints? Really? Checkpoints. Stop it, dog. Battletoads ain't had no checkpoints. You feel me? Battletoads ain't had no checkpoints. Contra did not have no checkpoints. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it, dog. You talking about checkpoints. Come on, man. Stop it. We talking about real hard. We talking about truly difficult games. Not games with checkpoints. Nah, stop it. Alter Beast was kind of easy. Alter Beast wasn't really hard. Yeah, Alter Beast is kind of it's a couple of tries. You can definitely get Alter Beast with no problem. This motherfucker said you telling me it ain't hard with checkpoints. You using checkpoints as your argument? Checkpoints? Come on, fam. I'm talking about truly hard games like we had back in the day, where dying was consequences to dying. Meaning you die a certain amount of times, you go back to the very fucking beginning. Not no goddamn checkpoints or keep starting where you died a million times until you beat the fucking chapter. Nah, fam. Nah. I can't accept that. If you didn't have a memory card for Metro Prime, you was fucked. I didn't have a memory card for Resident Evil 2. Oh, man. Prime example, I was playing Resident Evil 2. I died at the very fucking end. Once you got off the train and you had to fight the fucking William Birkin, I died and had to start all the way back at the motherfucking beginning. It wasn't a big deal, though. I loved fucking Resident Evil, so it was all good. But yeah, the original Ninja Turtles on the NES was definitely hard. Well, yes, that shit was hard. Especially when you had to disarm them bombs in the fucking lake. Oh my God. That was That's some difficult ass shit. Yeah, Resident Evil 2 motherfuckers beating that shit in 40 minutes on hardcore difficulty. That's pretty fucking crazy. That was pretty crazy. Nah, I mean, I think Kid Smooth beat like Halo on Legendary. Like, I think Kid Smooth beat Halo on Legendary. And I think he beat Gears 4 on the hardest difficulty too, which is you know, it could be pretty difficult, but you got checkpoints and you start where you die and shit like that. So it's like, nah. First of all, if there's a game that Kid Smooth beat on the hardest difficulty, just throw that shit out the window for being hard. Just don't even mention that for being a hard game. Just throw that out the motherfucking window. Just throw it out the window. Like facts. Throw it out. Like that's how really. Like there's a couple games I think like Jack Move beat or some shit like on the hardest difficulty, and I'm like, if Jack Move could do it, I could do it because I'm way better a gamer than Jack Move. So if he could do it, I could do it. Just throw it out the motherfucking way. Kid Smooth beat a game on the hardest difficulty, that shit ain't hard. And I think he beat Halo Legendary on the hardest difficulty. I know he did Gears 4. Throw it out the window. Throw it out the motherfucking window. Come on, man. I can't. Nah. That shit crazy. As far as Retro Thursday, I don't know if it's going to return this Thursday. I wasn't really too impressed with the outcome of the last one. I think it got under 3,000 views. That's not right in my book. Yeah, that's a waste of time in my book. If I do something and it don't get enough views, I ain't doing it again. I know people around here like to waste their time. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I ain't live streaming and I only got motherfucking 50 people watching. I ain't doing none of that. You dig? If that shit don't get enough views where I think it should be, and for that retro, that would need to be like 4,000, then I ain't going to do it again. I'm just going to let that go ahead and die and fall to the wayside. That's just how I am. It is what it is. You feel me? If something does not perform to my liking, nah. I've been here too long for 2,500 views on a fucking video like that. You dig? And that's straight gaming. You know what I'm saying? That's straight gaming. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Gauntlet. You talking about on the NES? That was an arcade game too, right? I think I remember Gauntlet. I think I do remember Gauntlet. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this Kid Smooth Shakiro thing. I think Kid Smooth got if y'all don't know, Kid Smooth got Metal Slug. Metal Slug ain't hard. You got unlimited continues. Metal Slug is not hard. You got unlimited continues. Unless you don't on the hardest difficulty, unless they got a difficulty. And I love Metal Slug. That's my shit. I've been playing Metal Slug since the first one on the Neo Geo back in the day in the arcade. In the arcade, never had a Neo Geo. It was way too expensive. Neo Geo, they wanted $1,000. They wanted like $700. No, what they want? They wanted like $300-$400 for one game. It was arcade perfect, but no. Metal Slug's got unlimited continue. I've been playing Metal Slug in the past year. I just beat it. I beat it on Xbox. I beat like Metal Slug 2 and 3, and I got them on PC. I've been playing Metal Slug in the past couple of months. It had unlimited continues, and I beat it in like 30 minutes. I'm gonna be real with you. It might be hard in the arcade because you got to keep feeding that motherfucker quarters, but at home, yeah, that shit got unlimited continues. But anyway, Smooth got a challenge coming up. I think it starts this Friday when Shakiro drops. It's a $1,000 bet. He has to beat the game in 40 hours. He got to beat it in under 40 hours or before May 1st. Plenty of time. It's plenty of time. To me, I think the bet, I think it's too easy to me. But then again, this is Kid Smooth, but I still think it's too easy. The one good thing about this is that he's starting it on day one, so nobody will be able to help him. Like I seen some people like, oh, you should wait because some of us want to watch, but we want to play it too. Nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I say, it should start on day one. That way can't nobody help him because don't nobody know what the fuck is going on. So he won't be able to get no help. He won't be able to go look up no videos, at least the first couple of days. Videos are going to be coming fast and furious. You know how I go. But he won't be able to get no motherfucking help. So that's at least the first couple of days are going to be fucking great. But yeah, they already made the bet. Yo, you know what I thought though? I was like, that should be funny as hell if that game ain't even that hard as people think it's going to be. And he fucking beat that shit in like fucking 25 hours. But yeah, $1,000 is on the line. GLM is one of the sponsors, so he might not never get paid if he do win. I don't know. If I was Smooth, I would have GLM. He would have to put that money up front. He got to put that. We got to get that to a neutral person up front. You know what I'm saying? But $1,000 is on the line. I think he's starting this Friday, the 22nd. Well, that's when the game launches, right? 22nd. So I'm definitely going to be watching. I'm going to mind my business, though. I'm definitely going to mind my business. I ain't got nothing to say. If people helping them, they just help them. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care. I don't care at all. It ain't going to have nothing to do with me. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just going to be there as a spectator, watching and fucking laughing if it's anything to laugh about. You know what I mean? If it's actually as hard as people believe it's going to be or they say it is, we're going to see. But I have absolutely nothing to say. $1,000 is on the line. And shit, man, that's a lot of money. You know what I mean? Just to beat a game under 40 hours? It's a lot of money, man. You know what I'm saying? That's easy money for me. That's easy money. I would beat that shit fast as fuck. I would try to speed run that motherfucker. Because there ain't no leveling system, right? I mean, you can unlock new moves, but there's no leveling system. There's no stamina bar. Like, what? Oh, man. I don't know. It's an easy 1,000, but I'm definitely gonna be there to watch, man. It should be entertaining. If the game is truly harder than Dark Souls, quote unquote, it's definitely going to be an interesting live stream. Definitely is. So I'm definitely gonna be there. But I'm gonna mind my business. I ain't got shit to say. He can cheat. I mean, honestly, I don't give a fuck if he cheat until the fucking cows come home. These motherfuckers, that's what they want. Cool. I think they gave him too much time. Like the game comes out March, they give him until May 1st. That's way too much time, dog. Like that's just way too much time. That gives him time to like chill, wait for some tips and tricks to come out, watch those videos, or wait for videos that's showing off exploits and all that. That gives him too much time to like gather information. You know what I mean? May 1st, like no, get that nigga like a week or maybe 2 weeks. Like he got plenty of time. He always on podcasts. He be doing fucking live streams and shit like that. Like he got time to play games. So it ain't like he fucking time, restrained and shit like that. But I think giving him a whole goddamn month and a half, damn near, and it's at his own leisure. So he can sit back a couple of days. He might play. Shit could be hard as fuck. He can chill for a whole week. By that week, it's probably gonna be a whole bunch of exploit videos all on YouTube that he can go watch and then use it, you know what I mean, when he playing. That shit should be small. That window should be small as fuck. That shit should be like a week or two. Like you got 2 weeks. This is $1,000. Like why give him a whole month and a half? He can chill and gather intel on how to beat certain bosses and all that shit. It should be a week or two. Like this, don't make it easy. It's $1,000 fucking dollars just to beat a game. Like, make that shit challenging. Make that shit interesting. Whole fucking week. Like, fuck that. I'm like, I got a month and a half to beat this shit. Okay, cool. I'm gonna chill for a minute. Week 1, oh, yeah, look at all these exploit videos. How to beat this boss, how to beat that boss. Where this secret shit at? Where that secret shit is at? Okay. I got it. Yep. Okay, I'm live streaming tonight, guys. Like, that's too easy. That window need to be small. 2 weeks at the most. You got 2 weeks to beat this game. That's more than enough time. It's not supposed to be easy. It's $1,000 on the line. It's not supposed to be a cakewalk. You feel what I'm saying? That window should be small as fuck. That way he can't gather no intel. He don't got enough time to gather any intel. He got to just go. He got to play. You feel me? That's what I would do if I give out the challenge. But you know, these niggas is retarded. You still got Eric Cuts giving out. She part of the joint, I think. She's retarded. She gave out the last retarded Bloodborne challenge. She was a part of that. So we already know she retarded. GLM, he just looking to get in where he fit in. You know what I'm saying? He don't give a fuck. He just want to be a part of something. And I think Lord Addict, that's his friend. So I don't, you know, I know he was in the call. I'm not sure if he's a part of it, but if he is, that's his fucking friend. So, you know, I don't know. He want to help out. I don't know. These motherfuckers is retarded at giving challenges. That's all I got to say. You know what I'm saying? So I would make that window 2 weeks at the most. You got 2 weeks to beat this game. $1,000 is on the line. You give them a month and a half, it's going to be, in a month and a half, go look, just in a couple of weeks, go and look and see how many fucking videos are going to be out for exploits on Shakiro and tips and tricks and shit like that this man could be watching. Because you don't really know if he watching or not. You know what I mean? He ain't going to be, here goes nothing. He ain't going to do that again. He ain't going to make that same mistake. He going to play it off this time. Nigga going to get smart at cheating. Yeah, I'm not going to use this cheat that I found right away. But once I get tired, I'm going to put it into action. Make it seem like I discovered it. Like, come on, the window needs to be smaller. It needs to be smaller. I wouldn't say a week. A week is pushing it because he got kids and he do work. I'd say 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks or less than 40 hours to beat this game. That way, that minimizes him being able to look up videos and shit like that. They give him a whole month and a fucking half, all the way to May 1st. What the fuck? That makes no sense. To me, that defeats the whole fucking purpose of the challenge. You know what I mean? That defeats the purpose of the challenge. And at the same time, well, he lost the Uncharted challenge. That was like it. Like, he lost the Uncharted 4 challenge, but he beat the Bloodborne challenge, which, you know, we already know how that went down. I don't know, man. I'll be watching, though, but I'm going to mind my business. I'm gonna just mind my business. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm gonna just be a spectator. Yeah, he got 40 hours in game. He got 40 hours in game to beat it, but he got up till May 1st. So he can take 2 weeks off and then come back. He got until May 1st to beat it, or the 40 hours, like whatever one comes first. You know what I mean? But he can take time off and gather intel and then come back. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Tony Wood 25. He said a bit off topic, but why that who suck always pick King and what? In Tekken. Wolverine in the arcade X-Men game, and Ryu in Street Fighter, and Marcus in Gears. I have no idea, man. I mean, they are the faces of those games for the most part. They are very popular. I don't know. Kid Smooth is a hardcore game. I think the point of the game is to show Smooth can't even beat the game under normal conditions. He beat Bloodborne. I mean, he did that. And that had an easy, long, open window. So it's like, I mean, plus they allowed him to get help. And, you know, he cheesed. He went and looked up videos and then started cheesing bosses and all that shit. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I hope he win, though. I hope he win. I hope Smooth win, because these niggas are retarded and they keep giving out retarded fucking challenges. So I hope he win. You know what I'm saying? Just so they can fucking lose money and maybe they'll do better the next time they want to issue a fucking challenge. So I'm rooting for Kid Smooth to win. So maybe that'll teach these fucking sponsors to stop giving these dumbass challenges and these retarded ass rules. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll learn. Once he fucking beat that shit. He definitely cheated Bloodborne. That's a fact. That ain't no mystery. Not only that, he had the whole chat helping him and shit. Like he had help. He was allowed to get help from the chat. So they guided him through the whole fucking game. Like it was times where he would have got lost and all that shit. Like he wouldn't have never beat that challenge if he didn't have all the help from the chat or cheating bosses and shit. Chat should be disabled. That's what I was saying during the fucking Uncharted challenge. I was like, the chat should be disabled. The chat should be disabled. That's a fact. That's a motherfucking fact. The chat should automatically be disabled. That's what I agree. The chat should be disabled. But like I told y'all, we got retarded people giving out these challenges. So they 3D gamers. They don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? They think they cool because they could beat Dark Souls and all that shit, but them niggas don't know no better. GLM can't beat nothing. He just want to be part of something. That's all. But other than that, these niggas don't know how to give out no real challenge. It's crazy. All day the chat be helping. Even if the chat ain't supposed to help, they still helping. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is glance over. I'm reading the chat. I'm trying to interact. Look at that tip. Okay. Yeah, I've had to read the chat. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I interact with my viewers. Shit crazy. Shit. He beat it, didn't he? You mean how much help can he get? He got a lot of help. Like a lot of times he was lost, like didn't know where to go. And people was telling him where to go. Like that shit would have burned up them fucking 40 hours. You know what I mean? He beat the shit. So obviously that chat was a big ass fucking help. You know what I'm saying? Some people will. You're right. Some people will beat Shakiro in a few days and have a guide. You are absolutely right. That's why the window should be as small as it can humanly possibly be. You know what I mean? In order for him to actually complete it, like being though that he do work and shit like that. That's why the window should be as small as possible. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Mr. T-Tech said no chat and no party chat. Last time he was in a party chat getting help. Like, come on, like what type of challenge is that? All right, so what do I do next? Okay. And which way do I go? Oh, okay. All right. And what weapon should I use? Oh, okay. All right. Like, come on, man. That shit crazy. Is Smooth still playing Crackdown? I don't know. I beat Crackdown, though. I beat that shit. Shit was all right. It was bombastic. It was bombastic. Oh, shit. My phone ringing. Hold on 1 second, folks. All right, I'm back. Got my phone on the charger. 2 work days, 60 hours game time is fair to beat again. Yo. Yeah, he had people in the party chat. That shit was crazy. But I'm going to watch, though, man. It should be entertaining. But like I said, I'm going to mind my business. I ain't got no horse in this race. So it is what it is. Like I said, I'm rooting for Smooth. It still should be fun, but I hope Smooth win. So these dickheads can stop giving out these easy-ass fucking challenges. So I'm definitely rooting for Smooth, though. Facts. You dig. But anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate all the super chat. Yeah, make sure y'all check out the Any Given Sunday podcast. It went up yesterday. So make sure y'all check it out. It's a pretty good show. I think it was. So go check that out. You know what I mean? Leave a comment and all that fly shit. I hate melon. What the fuck? Other than that, I'm about to bounce, man. I got a few things I got to do. But shout out to everybody for coming through, man. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to the Super Chat, Patreon supporters, like button people. You know what I mean? If you ain't too lazy, go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that like button. And I'm about to get up out of here. Ever seen the movie Colors? Yeah, I seen the movie Colors. Yeah, I definitely seen it. I seen the movie Colors. Any Rainbow Six? Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Rainbow Six. Not now, but I'm gonna be back on Rainbow Six. We're gonna get into that. You dig? I'm gonna be on that. The melon hate crazy. Yeah, now that fucking Blaze is gone, everybody hate melon now. You remember it was between Blaze and melon, so motherfuckers like shit. Wayne Blaze ain't around no more. It's just melon now. Motherfuckers don't like Melon Matt. Melon Matt is a fraud and a bad name on a podcast. What is going on? Shout out to Ill Child Music, man. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate it. Well, we got Days Gone coming out, so you already know where I'm about to be. You already know where I'm about to be. I need that Days Gone. I need them 6 hours of cut scenes. I need all that. I need all that. Give me that. I need that. But anyway, man, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gone. Deuces.